In a quiet and picturesque village, a modest family runs a small gas station and repair shop. However, with little business coming their way, they're eventually forced to close the shop and turn to deceiving travelers. One of their schemes involves scattering sharp objects on the road to cause accidents. One day, their plan works. A car hits the debris and crashes into a barrier. Soon after, a relative named John Ghoul shows up and helps tow the damaged car back to their place. The unsuspecting driver is then handed a bill for nearly 1 million won. Shocked by the price, he tries to bargain with Namju, the stern woman in charge, but she refuses to budge. The situation escalates when John Ghoul's unsettling younger brother, Hae Ghoul, emerges from a shed looking menacing. John Ghoul threatens to damage the car further if the driver doesn't pay. Feeling cornered, the driver gives in and leaves. Later, John Ghoul secretly watches Namju stash the money in a hidden, sacred spot. When she catches him snooping, she warns him to stay in line or face deadly consequences. Meanwhile, a scruffy-looking man is wandering nearby and spots two middle-aged women. For some reason, he feels an urge to attack, but they easily dodge him and walk away. Soon after, a group of children throws rocks at the man, provoking him to chase them into the village. As he runs, a large dog barks and charges at him. He initially stands his ground, but eventually panics and flees, ending up at a public restroom. Inside, an elderly man named Mandiok is hanging out with friends when the dog's barking draws his attention. Suspecting trouble, Mandiok investigates and finds the man eerily standing in the restroom, facing the wall. After being struck a few times by Mandiok, the man snaps and bites him. Surrounded and alarmed, he flees again and stumbles upon Hae Ghoul, who's quietly working in a garden. Hae Ghoul isn't afraid and ends up punching the guy's you-know-what. But Hae Ghoul gets even more scared of the dog, who is still chasing, so he and the guy run away together. They meet Hae Ghoul's older brother, Min Ghoul, who just comes home from work. But it turns out he already got fired by his boss via text. Min Ghoul doesn't accept it and gets angry. Seeing the dangerous guy in front of them, Min Ghoul decides to run with Hae Ghoul, but he slips and falls. As he is about to get attacked, John Ghoul's car suddenly comes and hits the guy, sending him flying. But the guy is fine. John Ghoul says the brakes failed, and he didn't mean to hit him. Strangely, the guy just growls and walks away when he hears the dog barking again, leaving the three confused about his behavior. Later, Mandiok arrives home after getting treated by paramedics. He says they already inject something into him to help his condition. That night, while Hae Ghoul misses his late birth mother, he hears strange noises from the shed. When he checks, he finds the guy enjoying eating something. Mandiok also finds out and, driven by rage, fights the guy. Hae Ghoul wakes up the rest of the family. John Ghoul also finds out and kicks the guy with a flying kick. But the guy stabs him with a sharp object. Surprisingly, he survives and pulls the object out, terrifying the whole family. They lock the guy inside from the outside. Later, while observing the guy's behavior, Min Ghoul suddenly remembers a legendary scene from the movie Train to Busan, and the family realizes the guy is a zombie. They all distance themselves from Mandiok, leaving him confused and eventually quarantining him in his favorite mobile home. Min Ghoul starts researching zombies online, asking whether the virus is real, and writes his findings in a book titled The Zombie Survival Guide. He suspects the zombie virus is called human Hardcolovirus H349N. When the virus enters the body, it mutates the DNA. A single bite spreads the virus through the bloodstream, increasing body temperature and blood pressure. Then the infected person experiences seizures, worsening until the soul leaves the body, and then they rise as a zombie, ready to eat human brains. Min Ghoul suggests doing something outrageous to their father, which the family rejects. They argue. Suddenly, Mandiok escapes from his mobile home, using his enhanced strength through the roof. He hasn't fully turned into a zombie, but his behavior gets weird. When he acts like a zombie, Min Ghoul hits him instantly, and Mandiok gets kicked out, considered a rebellious son. Curious about the zombie's condition, Hae Ghoul visits him in the shed and finds him trying to eat cabbage. So Hae Ghoul helps him, and the guy gobbles it up. Hae Ghoul tries to talk to the zombie. Since he has no name, Hae Ghoul gives him one, Jongbai, to make it easier. Seeing that Jongbai eats cabbage happily, Hae Ghoul gives him more and assumes he might be a vegetarian zombie after he finishes his third cabbage. But Namju doesn't care, since she doesn't want her family and unborn baby to get harmed. She wants to do something to Jongbai with pliers. And then he. Meanwhile, when Mandiok pees in the toilet, he feels his urinary flow improves, smoother than before. His friends get jealous, not just of that, but also of his younger appearance. He realizes this youthfulness might be thanks to Jongbai. He gets excited, but a friend interrupts the moment. Not wanting the secret of his youth revealed, he hides Jongbai and goes to meet the friend asking about it. An idea flashes in his mind to earn money. So Mandiok decides to start a youth restoration service for his friends, hoping he can go healing on a chill island using the profits, without relying on his family. Previously, Mandiok planned to go with his wife to a dream island they always wanted to visit, but unfortunately, his wife had passed away before they could go healing together. After his friends arrive with money, Mandiok takes them to the warehouse, but Jongbai isn't there. It turns out that Mingul has already taken Jongbai in a crate to sell him to a scientist. He has overheard his father's secret conversation with one of the friends, so the scientist can use Jongbai as a test subject to create a blue pill or enhancement drug. However, Mingul's journey gets interrupted by police who force him to stop the car because he drives too fast. He is about to get a ticket, but luckily, one of the officers recognizes Mingul's older brother, Jongul, so Mingul doesn't get ticketed and continues his journey. Suddenly, strange noises come from the crate, which makes the police inspect it, and Mingul ends up running away when they discover he has kidnapped Jongbai. At the police station, the police examine Jongbai's condition, and when he acts weird, like drooling, Mingul reveals that Jongbai is actually a zombie. Not long after, Mandiok and the others arrive and tell the police that Jongbai is his youngest daughter, which makes the police believe him. Eventually, both Mingul and Jongbai get released. While the family argues about life and the future of their gas station, Haegul notices that Jongbai, unusually, has no appetite for cabbage. So she adds chili sauce to make it tastier, and Jongbai finally agrees to eat. But strangely, he can't bite the cabbage. It turns out all his teeth have fallen out. Haegul asks who pulled his teeth out. The family becomes curious, not realizing it was Namju who pulled them out with pliers earlier. Because of this, Mandiok fails to start his rejuvenation business. Soon after, he hears his friends ask about the service again, which reminds him of a toothless friend who uses dentures. In the end, Jongbai is ready to bite the old men through the warehouse hole. At first, he hesitates, but once they add his favorite chili sauce, he starts biting their arms one by one. Eventually, Mandiok earns a lot of money, but Namju is the one who keeps the money in a sacred place. The next day, the rejuvenation effects work on the old men, making them more energetic. While they enjoy themselves, Jongbai's family starts arguing after finding out that Mandiok has taken all the money and left for the Dream Island, only leaving a note. This gives Mingul a chance to kidnap Jongbai again, but Namju blocks him and Mingul's life becomes threatened. Meanwhile, Haegul takes Jongbai to their cabbage farm, where Jongbai feels happy seeing all the cabbages he can eat. Haegul tries to talk with him again, but Jongbai still doesn't understand what she says. So Haegul gets upset and takes the cabbage away, which makes Jongbai chase her. After their sweet moment gets interrupted by Jongul, they see many villagers go to the house to use the rejuvenation service. So the idea of earning money comes back to Mingul's mind, and he no longer needs to kidnap Jongbai. He just continues his father's business to make people younger. Sometime later, many other townspeople want to be young too, and Jongbai's family ends up making a lot of money. After everyone gets satisfied with the bites, the family feels sorry for Jongbai, who doesn't have a proper place to live, so they give him Mandiok's mobile house. One day, Haegul takes Jongbai for a walk in town to get a haircut so he can look good. People start seeing them as a couple, but some girls don't like seeing Haegul walk around with Jongbai. With the money earned from the rejuvenation business, the family renovates their house and gas station and reopens their business after being closed for 10 years. After a feast, Haegul overhears Mingul talking with the scientist and finds out that Mingul still wants to trade Jongbai for money. Not wanting Jongbai to get hurt, Haegul decides to release him into the wild after giving him some do's and don'ts. After Mingul finds out that Zhangbai is gone from the mobile house, he searches the village until he finds him still standing in the same spot where Heigul left him. Mingul then takes Zhangbai to the bus station to meet the scientist in the big city. While waiting for the bus, he goes to buy a drink at the mini-market. At the counter, he finds the cashier just standing still, which confuses him. So he just leaves the money there. His confusion turns into fear when he sees someone behaving like a zombie. He suspects that it is because of Mandiak and Zhangbai, who have spread the zombie virus when biting villagers, not actually making them younger. As more zombies arrive at the station, Mingul panics and runs away. Meanwhile, the police station receives many reports of violence. It turns out the virus has fully turned many into zombies after symptoms like overheating and extreme hunger. Chaos breaks out in the small town, especially during a wedding of Mandiak's friend, and zombies end up feasting while adding more friends. At the same time, when Heigul is at Zhangbai's house, she sees someone she thinks is Zhangbai, but it isn't. It is one of Mandiak's friends who has turned into a zombie. So Heigul runs out to ask for help, and Namju knocks down the zombie. Soon after, a police officer arrives and sees what happened. He suspects they try to commit murder, so he tells the zombie to move behind him. But the zombie looks at him strangely, and finally, the officer dies. Soon, more zombies arrive, so the family has to lock themselves inside and go into lockdown. They don't know what to do next, but Heigul remembers Mingul's survival guide about zombie outbreaks. Using various tools to protect themselves, they call Mingul, who is still stuck at the station. The ringtone attracts the zombies, so he throws away the phone and runs when he sees an opening. In the end, he steals a car and returns home. Night falls, and the zombies still wander around Heigul and the others' house until Namju starts feeling pain when there are reactions from her big belly. Her groans make the zombies aware of the sound. Suddenly, the family hears a strange noise from the stairs, which turns out to be zombies who have discovered the family's location. So they have to escape to the warehouse roof and climb down the air duct ladder. Not long after, they hear Mingul arriving with tanks full of fireworks. But instead of getting closer to his family, Mingul chooses to use the fireworks to kill the zombies. However, he forgets that he is near a gas station. When he makes the mistake of lighting the fireworks inside his car, he quickly escapes from there. Mingul's plan manages to distract the zombies with the fireworks, and as bigger fireworks start exploding in the sky, the zombies get even more distracted. It turns out that zombies are also sensitive to light, not just loud sounds. But the consequence is that more zombies come to the gas station, including Zhangbai herself. After they find out that Namju's water is broken, the family gets even more panicked trying to escape. At that moment, Mingul comes up with the idea of using a thick cable with a hook to connect Zhangbai's mobile house to the transport truck he brought. But first, they have to avoid the zombies outside. So Mingul and Zhangul decide to use Zhangbai's used clothes to trick the zombies' sense of smell, while both brothers pretend to be zombies. After entering the truck, they can't find the key, which forces them to turn on the light and look for it. As a result, the zombies get distracted by the light, and when the brothers turn off the light, the zombies realize there is fresh meat inside. Suddenly, Heigul appears with a lawnmower and bravely fights the zombies alone. But in the end, she gets overwhelmed by the number of zombies and falls to the ground. But suddenly, the zombies stop attacking because Zhangbai shows up and blocks them. It seems he recognizes the woman who has always been with him and fed him. Not long after, one zombie walks across the roof toward an electrical outlet, which causes a short circuit and electrocutes the zombie, turning on the lights. As a result, the zombies get distracted again, and the scene turns into a disco party with loud dance music, while the zombie on the roof acts like a DJ. At that moment, Zhangul remembers that he left the truck key in his clothes after changing. So he takes responsibility and goes back alone. But suddenly another short circuit happens, the lights go out, and he panics after stepping on broken glass. The situation gets out of control, especially after Namju gives birth to her baby alone. The baby's cries attract some zombies to the warehouse, while the rest chase Zhangul, who tries to retrieve the keys. After avoiding the zombies on the stairs, Zhangul throws the key to Mingul. But not long after that, Zhangul gets surrounded by zombies and finally, he dies. Not wanting to waste his brother's sacrifice, Mingul starts the truck and tries to pull the mobile house from the warehouse. Heigul tells Zhangbai to get inside quickly, but he refuses and instead chooses to protect Heigul from the zombies. While Mingul tries to pull the house, he has to crash into the gas station to distract the zombies, which creates a fountain of gasoline that draws their attention. Then, Jong-gul suddenly returns, still alive. So Min-gul steps on the gas, and they manage to escape from the zombies. But this leaves Jong-bai behind, and Hae-gul feels heartbroken for abandoning him. Jong-bai blames himself and starts to regain his humanity as he remembers the memories he shared with Hae-gul and the family. He calls out Hae-gul's name, which distracts the zombies and makes them swarm around her. And finally, he falls. This gives him a chance to do something drastic. He throws a lighter at the spilled gasoline, and the zombies around the gas station get burned. The next day, media reports that the zombie virus originated from a drug called no insulin, created by a company named Human and Bio. There was a patient who reported mysterious side effects after taking it. Someone also revealed that the company conducted illegal human trials for the past 10 years, using homeless people and students. But there is one thing the media and public still don't know. Jong-bai once passed through an underground tunnel and saw a road sign pointing to the village, which explains how he ended up there. Now the zombie virus has spread across the country, and the government plans to declare martial law to fight back. While Hae-gul and the others pass through a tunnel, they have to stop because something surprising happens. Jong-gul has turned into a zombie after getting bitten. Soon after, Hae-gul and the others hear a strange noise from the tunnel, so they stay alert. But it isn't a threat. It is the voice of Mandiak, who has returned from the Dream Island. But they remember he was the first one bitten, so they start avoiding him, until they hear from the government that they need someone immune to the virus to create a vaccine. So, Hae-gul and the others realize that Mandiak is actually immune, and they bring him to the disease control headquarters. 6 months later, Hae-gul and the team are now assigned to distribute free vaccines. But they don't use injections. Instead, they use bites from Mandiak, who has become half human, half zombie. Surprisingly, Jong-bai is still alive and has joined the team, because it was revealed that she survived the explosion at the gas station, protected by the corpses of other zombies. The movie ends with a long line of zombies waiting to be bitten, and finally, Mandiak reluctantly bites them one by one. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you don't miss the latest recaps. Thanks for watching and wish you good health.